So to kind of continue this train of thought, since TikTok is so limited, and it's set up that way by design, but that's a whole other conversation. From a societal perspective, men are not loved or valued unconditionally. Women and children and pets are. The only way that I know of anyhow, and that I've come across, is for a man to improve his station in life is to do it himself. And that, is true for anybody, to have an internal locus of control and to strengthen yourself and your self-worth and self-confidence and self-value and things of that nature. But while there are means and resources, and it is encouraged for others to help children and help women and lock arms with them, and when they're struggling, when they're going through a bad time, to have somebody big them up and, hype them up and shit, women get that. And that's great. And I have no problem with that. And I think that is a fantastic thing with how society is moving in that way. But then it makes it all the more painful as a man when you see other people getting that kind of support and there being those kind of resources out there, while simultaneously, not only are those things not really made available to you, as a man, you are then being told that you are toxic and that masculinity is toxic. And the trend that was going viral for a minute on TikTok, that all men are trash, all men should die. And men, and since their only value and the only way you can feel value and worthy is by earning value and worth. People do not intrinsically see you as valuable and worthy of love. And so you have to earn it. And then it creates this kind of spiral effect where you try to earn it and nothing you do is good enough to be seen worthy. Nothing you offer is seen to be, worthy and valuable enough. And I speak from experience of being in a 22-year marriage. And ultimately, here in a month, our divorce will be finalized. And I don't think my soon-to-be former wife and the mother of my children, I don't think she's a terrible person. Quite the contrary. The mother of my children is a fantastic, wonderful, great, beautiful, desirable, fantastic woman. And I told her this, and tell her this to this day. And do it in front of my children, and make sure that their children grow up seeing that their father values their mother. And I lift up the women in my life. And make sure that my children see me lifting up the women in my life. And I instill into my children the value of the women in their lives. And the women in our society. These are good things. But what hurts is when you don't see that reciprocated. I don't see that reciprocated in society, and I didn't see that reciprocated in my 22-year marriage. I dealt with suicidal ideation and twice actually carried plans out, and thank God that I didn't carry those plans out. I got so depressed that I drank half a bottle of tequila and held my pocket knife to my wrist and pressed down and just needed about 2 to 3 more pounds of pressure pulled across to slice my wrist. And I didn't want to put that onto my family, that I was in that dark and depressing a place. And the only thing that prevented me from killing myself was the hurt it would cause them. So I didn't do it. And thank God I found other ways of self-help and leaning onto my faith and studying Taoism and Stoicism and Buddhism and trying to find peace within myself, within my heart, and doing the work on myself and meditating. And these are great things and things I encourage anybody to do. Because as a man, it is not there externally. You are not going to get that external lifting up and encouragement. And human beings crave that. I got a lump in my throat talking about this because it still, while I am healing, it still hurts deeply. And when I and other men try to convey our hurt and try to convey the way that society and the patriarchy and stuff, just as it's hurting other women and hurting other people and such, how it's hurting us too, it isn't met with empathy and compassion. It is met with arrogance and, oh, you're just trying to make yourself the victim. And people are not able to see through their own hurt and pain to understand the hurt and pain of others. I am a very empathetic person, and I can understand and try to relate and give people empathy and compassion where I feel it is due. Because I am also a judge of character. And if someone's going to be an asshole, and they are conducting themselves in an asshole way, especially with me, and they choose to make themselves my enemy, I'm not going to be kind to my enemy. Myself and a lot of men like me are warriors. We have within us compassion and love for our tribe and those who we are here to protect and look after. And if someone is an enemy, we don't have compassion for them. They're the enemy. So I'm not going to have compassion for you and turn the other cheek. Perhaps, that is an area that I need to strengthen upon, but I'm not there. And so when I am sharing my pain and I am empathizing with your pain, and when I'm not getting that reciprocated, I will not be kind to you. And it is extremely interesting to me that when kindness is not reciprocated and energy is matched, I and other men like me are then vilified for matching that energy. So I am all for having this conversation, and it is going to be very interesting to me to see the responses, if any, that are yielded from this conversation. And that's on fact.